Sound check. One. Sound check. One. Welcome, classic rock fans, to another episode of Classic Gig Revisited. And for this one, I'd like to talk about another gig that I visited at the Reading Hexagon when I lived there, and that was Don McLean of American Pie fame. The date of the actual gig was Friday the 13th of November 1987, and here is the actual ticket. Pretty naff looking tickets, and look, you know, after the Don McLean gig, you could have gone and bought a ticket on the back advertised for Aladdin featuring Keith Chegwin. My word, that was rock and roll, wasn't it? I hope he kept his kecks on though, that's all I can say. Anyway, the Don McLean concert. Now at the time I was kind of into Dylan, but I was looking for something like Dylan that was as good, in that same sort of vein, but I never really found it. I suppose the closest I came to were people like Neil Young, who I came to enjoy at a later date. But I discovered Don McLean, of course, and the American Pie album is a lovely album. Of course, the standards, very famous radio standards now, American Pie and Vincent. And of course, the album he did before that, Tapestry, is one that I absolutely adore as well, particularly the song Orphans of Wealth. Very Jeremy Corbyn-esque, I think. Anyway, so I've been quite a big fan of Don McLean when this came around at the Hexagon. I did decide to, I'll put the ticket aside, I did decide to try and meet him. So I waited at the stage door before, and I managed to be there when he arrived. So he had no choice really but to sign autographs, because I mean, Don McLean has a habit of not signing autographs after the show. You usually get somebody to come out to make some sort of excuse or other, and then he doesn't sign. But anywho, this is a flyer for the 15th anniversary solo tour, and that was it. This is a flyer I picked up. It's got the dates on the back. Anyway, this is what he signed for me. I don't know if you can make out the signature, but he signed it there in biro, just Don McLean. Which is a nice album. I should have to get that framed, I think. But yeah, so I managed to get that signed. That's one of my prized possessions. Still being a fan of Don McLean, although don't tell anyone, it's a secret. And here, of course, is the actual programme, which I bought in the show, and of course couldn't get it signed afterwards. But you can flick through it for you, anything of any interest. Of course, you get your historical, biographical blog. I tell you who did the best programmes. Look at that. The very best of Don McLean available on record and cassette. That takes you back, doesn't it? This is pre-CD days. But I tell you who does the best programmes, who used to do the best programmes, Jethro Tull. Their programmes are absolutely outstanding. They were always, I mean, you could spend ages just reading them in it prior to the gig. That's a nice picture with a great sign. Yeah, it's nothing to shout out. And if you're interested, Friends of Don McLean, like a fan club, you could join if you wanted to. But there is the programme. Moving away from this particular gig, I went to see Don McLean at the Reading Hexagon about a year or 2 years later. I think it was '89, and I was virtually right down at the front row. And something very odd happened. Somebody actually fell from the balcony at my feet. I don't know whether the guy was trying to go to the toilet or something, trying to step across. But this poor fellow fell, from the balcony at my feet and just got up clutching his arm. And of course he was taken to the hospital. I think he'd broken something. But to this day, I have no idea what he was doing. But to fall, somebody to fall from the balcony at a concert as sedate as a Don McLean gig is rather unusual, I think. But it made the local paper. I do have the clipping for it. Anyway, we go back to the original gig that I'm posting about, the one that was in 1987, I think it was, not the Rory Gallagher ticket, this one. 1987. We were sat up at the balcony, I think, for this one, and he did a set list that comprised all the And I Love You So, Castles in the Air, sorry, not Castles in the Wind. Castles in the Air, sorry, I'll cut this out. American Pie, Vincent, quite a few other songs like that, and there was Empty Chairs. I was at the second time I saw him, because the second time I saw him he did Empty Chairs and Orphans of Wealth, which was perhaps a more interesting set list for me. But anyway, glad I went, and thoroughly enjoyable gig, and got to meet the guy beforehand. What more could you ask for? Anyway, were you there? Please click like, subscribe, like the Facebook page. It'd be nice to get a kind of a classic rock sort of community thing sort of going, discussion stuff happening and whatever. But anyway, click like, subscribe, but more importantly, please do keep listening.